Hello everyone. Welcome to the second part of the implementation. So in the last part, we were trying to get this thing going. Right now I have it deployed. I'm still testing it out. But guess what? Remember those things that I removed that Curie gave me in the POM that I decided like they were not good things? Well, turns out they were needed. So I have the configuration for the MySQL connector Java and the dependency for MySQL connector Java. And yes, I keep getting like a direct vulnerability. There's a workaround for that, but for now I'm just gonna leave it like this because it is working and I don't want to mess with it anymore. Last time we also did the changes that it gave us for the dweave. So now we're just gonna keep asking stuff in the code enhancer. But first, let me show you what's happening. So I am running this. I already showed you what's on the POM and it works. Oh, and the other tell that I had was that I was trying to get to my global here to test my SQL database without having to run the whole thing. But my connection was not coming out as valid until I asked Curie like what's happening, and it gave me the correct result. As we can see from here, it gave me the configuration and the dependency because I asked my database connector is not working, please help me troubleshoot it, and this is what it gave me, and it worked. All right, so now my issue is that I'm trying to get from the host and API/tasks. I'm trying to get something, but I keep getting a 500 internal server error. And this is the error that I'm getting about the bad SQL syntax. So that is probably, I know where it's coming from. Because if you remember, we are setting up here a transform message to prepare the query. Whatever this is, and it is being set up in the vars where clause. But then here we're like simply using the where clause here. I don't know if this is what should be done. So let's go ahead and ask the code enhancer. So let's select again the repo from local active. I keep getting this error when trying to run the get all tasks flow. All right, so this is what it came up with. So pretty much modifying how this syntax is set up. Instead of having like $sign parentheses, we're having the hashtag and the square brackets. It says it took 8 minutes, but it didn't. It took like 1 minute, but like you have to approve and do some stuff, and it like takes the whole thing. So I was doing other stuff, and that's why it says 8 minutes. Just letting you know that it didn't take 8 minutes. So I did that change, which is here, because we are setting up the variable where clause from here. So this is what it's attempting to get. But when I try to do this again, I get another error. So I thought of another agent that can help us. And that is the single repo code lens, because you can ask questions from a single repo. So I went ahead and asked, why am I getting this error in the get all tasks flow? And I literally just copy and pasted whatever was on the terminal. So it was really insightful, actually. You are encountering the following error because the DB select step, which dynamically builds the SQL query using a dataweave generated where clause variable. So this is the piece of code that I'm using. And then it says the where clause is a string, which can either be this or this. No parameters are used, i.e. you are directly concatenating values into the SQL string. Why this error occurs when no query parameters are present if the dataweave logic results in a malformed clause, MuleSoft's DB connector may attempt to bind a parameter named null. If where clause is empty, the SQL becomes valid, but if the dataweave logic is off, like trying to add a clause with a missing value, then the DB connector gets confused. So now it's telling me some recommendations like using parameterized queries, and it's giving me the whole thing on how to do it. The only difference with doing this is that I cannot see like the nice diff from like before and after. But honestly, I can just like copy and paste everything and see whatever changed. The other thing is that I also don't think that this is actually compiling the code or like trying to run the code. So there might be some errors, but let's see. So I copied everything from EE transform to DB select. So let's put it there. And you know what? Let me just format document so we can look at it better. Okay, so it actually did change the transform message because now it says variable name query data, and it's generating another thing. So now we have SQL with the query clause and parameters with do params. So it is changing the structure a little bit. So now we are sending the parameters like the SQL, like query data.sql, and the input parameters like query data.params. So we can just press the hot deploy so we don't have to like stop and redeploy the whole thing. And there was actually some issues here. So that's okay. You know what? But I'm gonna take this feedback and ask the code enhancer to do something similar for me with the repo. So now I'm gonna tell it, use parameterized queries. Sure, maybe it will know what I mean. All right, and this is what it returned. So a few changes on the transform message. We are creating a variable name query params and another variable name SQL query. Then some more changes. Here we can see the parameterization. And then we are just setting up the DB select with the SQL and the input parameters. So this way we are actually parameterizing the whole thing. So if I just copy the whole thing and paste it here, I can save and hot deploy one more time. And once this is up, we can try this again. So fingers crossed. Oh my god, it worked! It returned 0 tasks because I don't have anything. Yes, we did it. I didn't even remember how to do parameterization with the DBs, so that is really cool. All right, so that's working. Let's see the second. So if I take a quick look here in my Exchange, I have the post. So it should be something like this. I can just copy and paste this. All right, so create a new task. This is in the same place in tasks. Sent. Oh, I forgot to change it to post. I was really confused for a moment. Okay, let me save this and try. Oh my god. It actually worked. It actually worked. No way. No way. No way. Okay, I do see an issue here that is returning ID 1 and here's returning ID 0, but oh my god, it's working. Let's see, finish my videos, send. Okay, the ID needs some working on, but it is creating the tasks. It's creating the tasks. Oh, look at this. For the insert, it actually started using the parameterization like from the start. It was just the other one that was not using it. Okay, so this is what's not working. The select last insert ID, this is the one that is not working. But in other news, I can go ahead and search for each of the tasks and I am able to retrieve it. Now let's see if this gets updated. I just added like groceries. Ah, okay. That doesn't work. Column title cannot be null. It is not null though, but that's okay. We'll take a look at that in a moment. And finally, let's see the delete. So right now we have ID 2. So let's go ahead and remove ID 2. So 204 no content. I hope that means that worked. And yes, it worked. Oh my god, this is so cool. What if we simply do select ID from tasks, order by tasks, like this and no, what? Ah, I was missing the thing. Anyway, okay, this works. So it returns the last ID. I'm gonna assume that is the last ID that I'm creating. So sure, let's just do that. So this was in create, right? All right, so wait, let me minimize this. So get generated ID. Yeah, let's just do this thing. Hopefully that works. So let's save this and hot deploy. And then what was the other issue? It was with the update, right? Because the create works. I just have to fix this thing. And then the get task by ID works. The update doesn't work. I got an internal server error. So let's take a look at the update task. I mean, it should have worked. I'm not sure why it didn't, but that's okay. Let's take a look at the create. So finish my videos. This is a 3 now. Awesome. So yes, this is working now. We have 1, 3, because 2 we already deleted. Yes. Okay, so now we need to work on the update. So DB query execution, column title cannot be null. So it is starting the update task. Is it getting updated? No, it's not. So it is setting up the payload correctly. Interesting. So let's do this. Let's add a breakpoint and send this again. So now we can see the mule message. So the payload is the whole thing: ID, title, description, due date, and completed. Well, I already noticed that this is not updating because it's not saving the original payload. So like the payload that is going to be changed. So that is an issue because here we are changing the whole payload. So let me press continue. Then we're going to add here a variable, set variable, input payload, and the value is going to be payload. So, all right, now this is the one that we're going to use. Let's leave it like that and then prepare the task data. So instead of payload, okay, so vars.input payload.title. Then we do the same thing for the description, vars input payload description, vars input payload due date, vars input payload complete. All right, let's hot deploy this thing one more time. All right, successfully started. So let's try this again. No, why are you stuck? All right, send. Now we can see the mule message is the application Java because we are preparing the task data. I think continue. So now we're in the update. And this is what we have. ID, title, description, due date completed. Okay, this looks like it's gonna work, hopefully. But it still says groceries without. So I was looking at the payload instead of looking at the input payload variable that I had created before. That's why I couldn't see the updated thing. But okay, this worked at least. Oh, it actually got updated. Okay, so update, like get task by ID. I have this, I have the groceries. So what if I add groceries? Wait, where's my request? Ah, here it is. Groceries, blah, 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 and send that. Oops, I forgot to take off the breakpoints. Let me remove breakpoint, come back here, make this smaller. So yeah, it looks like it works now. And we even learned how to debug in ACB, which is really cool. So yeah, we got it. So let me just put this back. Buy groceries by June 15, for example, because I don't know, that's what I want to do. So we send it and it is saved. And if we get the thing by ID, we get it. Yeah, it works. Boom, high five. So now our whole application is working. All of the 5 operations are working, and I am just so happy about it. Thank you, CurieTech. It didn't take as long as I thought, because again, by the end of the day, I didn't know exactly how to use the DV connector thing. So I didn't even know, or like, I remember seeing the database stuff like years ago. I haven't used it a lot lately in like 5 years or something. So really, just like asking Curie to do it for me, at least the beginning of it is really useful, because I would just be really lost without having like the initial skeleton. And then as you saw, like I was just able to troubleshoot and debug on my own once I understood more or less what was happening. And yeah, that's the other plus. If you didn't know how to debug in ACB, now you know. All right, that is all for this video. We finished implementing our API. In the next video, we're going to learn how to add M units to our project. And yes, you guessed it, using CurieTech AI. We're not gonna have to create a single M unit, I hope. So I will see you in the next video creating M units. Bye!